Hello everyone, this is my first video in a long while, and today we're going to be unboxing the Dell MSD19, which is a dual monitor stand. I haven't found a lot of info on YouTube about this. There was one video by a Russian, which was very well produced, probably better than what I'm going to show you today, but I'm doing this in English for those of you who can't speak Russian like myself. So let's just get into it. Yeah. So I'm buying this for myself because I'm about to start working from home, and I just want to keep my desk as clutter-free as possible. And one way to do that is with a dual monitor stand, but my desk that I plan to use is quite thick, so those back, C-mounted sort of monitor stands just won't work for me. So I wanted a nice sturdy stand, and this was 50% off the Dell Australia store, so I thought, why not? And I plan to buy a couple of Dell monitors to go with this. I'm just still deciding on which ones. I'm looking at the U2520D or the 2720Q, I think it was. So a UHD or a 4K. It just depends on if I want to spend the extra money. But for illustrative purposes, I do have a couple of monitors over there ready to go. So we're just doing this in my kitchen today because it's a lot more space. Let's have a look. So both of these have the Dell quick release mounts, as you can see there. Just getting this packing foam. Doing this one-handed is not the best, but I don't have a mount set up. As you probably can look from previous videos, I probably put YouTube on the back burner for a bit. Not sure what's in here, but we'll have a look. I really should read the instructions. Alright, so that's our base, and this must go into the top of that. So we'll just put that on my kitchen floor. Alright. So here's our monitor base, which is pretty hefty, at least when you're doing it one-handed. What we might do is just grab that, chuck it over there. Alright, so here's our monitor base. So I'm going to obviously have to put this in here. It looks like we have a little turn screw here on the bottom. So let's see what we can do about that. Alright. So there's our monitor base. And we'll just come over here and grab the upper part and hopefully not scratch the base, because if it's like the plastic they'll use on their other monitor stands, it's very easily damaged. So that's hopefully not something you're going to see here today, but you never know. So we'll just try and get this off. This is very old school YouTube, watching me unbox things one-handed. I probably shouldn't use the term old school. Alright, so that just mounts in there like that. So that's sort of what it looks so far. So there's no sort of twist at the bottom. There is a nice sort of cable management duct just there, and we've got some little cable hooks by the look of it here. One thing I was kind of interested was whether this moved, but it looks like it does, which is good, because that was one of my concerns when I was looking at monitors, as to whether if I got the 25-inch monitors, which are an uncommon size, whether I could move these to close the gap between the two monitors. So that's a positive sign that that's moving like that. guessing there's probably, or I'm hoping there's some way to clamp that will tighten that down so it doesn't move as much. But yeah, so I'm just going to pause the video for a second here, and then just tighten up that screw on the bottom. Alrighty, I'm back. So basically, that is definitely a two-handed operation. I would not try doing that on your own. That bolt, well, not difficult to put in, difficult with one hand. So that's the documentation, which looking at it is very similar to the PDF found online. What I was surprised to find was in this little box that I picked up earlier, I hadn't read that there were VESA mounts included. So if you've got a non-Dell monitor, but you want the quality of the Dell stand, because it is it is decently sturdy, particularly for the money, it includes a VESA plate. So, you know, you could put your LG ultra-fine monitor or whatever else you have, your Samsung, you can put that on there, it should be fine. So we'll put that aside, but that's good to know that we have that, and that's the documentation. So this is the stand and where we're up to so far. So over here I've got a 22-inch monitor and a 23-inch monitor, roughly the same model, just obviously different sizes. These are my partner's two displays, because as I said, we haven't got one yet, but these should be fairly easy to mount just onto here, because they've got the quick release. So I'm just gonna give you a nice view of that, hopefully. So it just sort of slides on and then goes click like that. And so that's one mounted. So you can have a look at the back of it here. So not as flush as I'd like it to be honest, but it does the trick. And I can say, if you're used to the stands that come with these Dells, that is probably not as smooth as I'd like it. It's very, you can kind of hear it, kind of notchy. Part of that, obviously, plasticky noise is the flex in the chassis of the monitor. But there's one. And here's our second, which it's a little bit difficult to do this one-handed, because here we go. So yep, those two little lugs click in up under there, and then click like that. So then that's sort of what it looks like so far. Again, remembering these are two different sized monitors, but theoretically, hopefully, taking this tape off will allow us to slide them both together. Beautiful. That does do the trick. Might get a little bit of isopropyl and get that in a sec. Oh, no, there we go. All right, so, and theoretically we can pop those, although they're at different distances, interestingly enough. Maybe that's the fiddling with got that like that. So there, yeah, the adjustments are not as smooth as I'd like, but maybe it's, yeah, not as smooth as I'd like, but once you get it in place, I doubt you're going to be moving it around a ton anyway. So yeah, that's sort of what that looks like in dual monitor configuration, the only configuration. Yeah, and so you've got your cable management up through here. So unlike the regular stands, obviously that's nicely concealed. And then you've got these tracks along here which adjust So yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with this stand, particularly at 50% off. So it was about 210 Australian dollars. So that's not too bad. I'm quite pleased with that. And once I get a nice matching pair of the latest sort of Dell Ultra Sharps with the thinner bezels, I reckon it's going to look really nice. So yeah, and I don't think, no, there's no up and down adjustment, so you're sort of stuck at the one height. But that's all right. Adjust your chair, I guess, or if you've, got an adjustable desk, that'd probably work quite well as well. So anyhow, leave your thoughts down below. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I might do a follow-up video, particularly once I get the new monitors. And yeah, thank you for tuning in again. If you've subscribed to me in the past 5 years, again, sorry I haven't made a ton of videos, but maybe I'll start doing a little more as I've got some interesting kit coming in. Cheers.